Life doesn't test you to break you, it tests you to shape you. That was a truth 15-year-old Daniel never understood until life forced him to. Daniel grew up in a small town where dreams often felt too big to chase. His father was a factory worker, his mother a tailor, and their family constantly struggled to make ends meet. Daniel was an average student. Not the best, not the worst, but he carried a heart full of ambition. He dreamed of doing something meaningful, something that would take him beyond the narrow streets of his town. But like many teenagers, he faced crippling self-doubt. One day, after failing a math test, he overheard two classmates whispering, "He's never going to make it. He's just ordinary." Those words cut deeper than the red ink on his test paper. That night, staring at the cracked ceiling of his room, he wondered, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not meant for anything big. But something remarkable happened the very next morning. On his way to school, Daniel saw an old man struggling to carry bricks at a construction site. Despite his frail frame, the man kept lifting, one brick at a time, without giving up. Curious, Daniel stopped and asked, "Sir, why don't you rest? You look so tired." The old man smiled, sweat dripping from his forehead, and replied, "Son, this wall won't build itself. One brick at a time, that's how greatness is made." Those words hit Daniel like a bolt of lightning. One brick at a time. He repeated them to himself all day. Suddenly, failure didn't feel like a final judgment hit. Felt like just one step in a much longer process. From that day forward, Daniel changed his entire approach to life. He stopped chasing perfection and started focusing on building brick by brick. If he failed in one subject, he studied harder the next day. If his classmates mocked him, he used their words as fuel to prove them wrong. Slowly but surely, he climbed from average to above average, from being unnoticed to being respected. But life had another test waiting for him. When Daniel turned 80, tragedy struck. His father lost his factory job when the company shut down. Overnight, the family's financial struggles became a crisis, and college seemed like an impossible dream. Daniel felt crushed, watching his father sit silently in the evenings, the weight of the world on his shoulders. One night, Daniel made a decision. He took a part-time job washing dishes at a local cafe. He worked late into the night, studied during the day, and survived on just a few hours of sleep. It was exhausting, but he kept repeating the old man's words. One brick at a time. Months turned into years. Daniel saved every single dollar, applied for countless scholarships, and refused to give up. There were moments he wanted to quit, when the exhaustion was unbearable, or when another rejection letter arrived. But every single time, he chose to lay just one more brick. Finally, after years of grinding, Daniel was accepted into a good university with partial scholarships. His hard work had cracked open doors that once seemed permanently locked. At university, he faced new challenges, students who were richer, smarter, and more confident. But Daniel no longer feared being underestimated. He knew his secret weapon: persistence. He built connections, studied relentlessly, and even started mentoring other struggling students. His story of resilience began to inspire those around him. Professors noticed his grit. Classmates respected his journey, and within a few years, Daniel graduated with honors. But the story doesn't end there. Daniel went on to start a small business, helping low-income students access affordable learning resources. What began as a few used books in his garage grew into an organization that now serves thousands of students nationwide. He often returned to his old town, speaking at a school, reminding students just like him that success is you and a about where you started. It's about the fact that you never stop. Years later, during one of his talks, a boy in the audience asked, "Daniel, how did you keep going when everything seemed impossible?" Daniel smiled, his mind flashing back to the old man at the construction site. "Because life is like building a wall," he replied. "You don't place all the bricks at once. You place them one by one. If today feels like a failure, it's just one brick. Lay the next one tomorrow. And one day, you'll look back and see the strong wall you've built your own success." Daniel's story proves that life's tests are not meant to break us, they are meant to shape us into who we are destined to be. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to Motivoons for more motivational stories that will keep your spirits strong and your dreams alive.